Sonali, welcome to the Say Cheese platform. It's really our pleasure to have you on board with us. I know it's been a busy week and it's a Friday, but you're almost at the end of the day, but you've taken time out. So thanks once again for it. Sonali,
Completely
for
my
everyone
pleasure.
Sonali, for everyone else who's listening in to us, is the Senior Executive Vice President and Head of People, Performance and Culture at Aon India Insurance Brokers Private Limited. She's got a full time job. She's got a lovely family that she spends a lot of time with and does immense amount of multitasking, much more than many people I know. So, Sonali couldn't be a better person to ask the topic. So, how do you prioritize and focus on what's important? And tell me one thing before we even begin, because we are a app for women, and our community is all about women. Do you
Right.
feel that women have a stronger need to for women and to multitask and to just do a lot of things at the same time?
That's a very interesting way to start this discussion, Divya. And honestly, without any discredit to my, the other gender, so to speak, I do believe that, there is this inherent tendency in women to, overextend themselves. And, I have kind of, and I haven't done any research on this per se, but basis experience of so many years in observing individuals both at workplace and otherwise, I can say confidently that I've seen many men be supermen at work, but I have not necessarily seen them having the same compulsion at home. However, I have seen many women be superwomen at work, and at the same time, I have seen them be superwomen in pretty much every other aspect of their life as well. Whether it be in terms of as mothers, as friends, as having a responsibility towards family, towards society. I have seen women extending themselves across multiple angles and doing that also fairly successfully. So I feel that, maybe there is also to some extent societal, expectation, which, kind of weighs down on women much more than what happens with men. So there is that inherent desire to also please and not give others the opportunity to raise, questions on what you are prioritizing or what you are choosing to focus upon. And hence women also end up wishing or, stretching themselves too thin at times, to be honest. Because if you try being a very successful manage home, via some other sources or with some other support, automatically there is that, fear that am I doing too little, for people at home. Is your home, much more, then automatically there is that fear that am I doing too little for my own career advancement, for my own, color this only with the view of a working person. Or I would say I have seen this even in instances where women have been homemakers, where they have, kind of taken up the mantle of being super women across various aspects of their life equally, with equal dedication, with equal, focus. And the perfect mother, the perfect wife, the perfect daughter, the perfect daughter-in-law, and doing this as compared to men. So the short answer to your question is yes.
Wonderful. Beautifully spoken, Sonali, and very straight from the heart. One can make out that you've been through a journey, and those experiences are talking when you're talking to us, and bringing
Completely.
each of those aspects. We've got an audience today. We've got Dr. Sangeeta. We've got some more people. If there is any question, we'd love to answer. Sonali is here as well.
Lovely.
So, if there are any questions, please feel free to ask.
Yeah.
But otherwise, moving on, Sonali, you're extremely seasoned and very very professional, and as an HR leader, what are typically the challenges you see that women are undergoing? When they bring themselves to their career, are there some specific challenges that women are battling? And as an HR leader, how do you enable them to be able to work to their fullest, keeping in mind all of us have issues that we are dealing with, or factors that are beyond our control, but we still have to bring our best at work, and that's also an equal expectation. So while multitasking, how do you enable and how do you create an environment which is conducive for them?
So I think, one of the things that research has taught us, Divya, is that while we see a lot of smart, ambitious, really, high performing women enter the workforce every year, literally, and when you look at the demographics at a junior level in most organizations, you will see that broadly there is always a 50-50% kind of a gender, mix in most organizations, right? However, as the women start climbing the ladder, research has again proven that towards the of their careers, a lot of women actually drop out of the workforce, and which ultimately results in very leadership positions in organizations.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, the reasons behind this typically are because at one point in time, women decide to prioritize their work, their personal life, over their work, because they do not have the necessary support system to really balance both, and make good both the priorities that are there. And I think what is the good news is that a lot of organizations are recognizing this, and are really taking steps towards addressing this concern, because we are otherwise seeing a really this population bleeding out of our workforce, and which means that we are really losing a lot of talented people, unfortunately, in the entire hierarchical path of growth
Yeah.
for anybody, whether women or males. In terms of what organizations can do, and some of these are from my own experiences, and some of these are suggestions that I can think of, which will really help women continue with their careers at the workplace and still manage to balance out some of the the personal priorities that they have. I think few of those are: number one, I think organizations, if they continue, and now with this pandemic coming through, I think work from home has already become something which is not a taboo word. Earlier there was a slight amount of taboo around it, but I think now it's just an accepted thing to do. And I think if organizations can continue to offer working from home, as one of the options for women, I think it will make them feel much more comfortable with regards to balancing the work priorities as against the personal priorities. I think in terms of supporting women, who are returning from maternity, okay, providing maybe part-time work options for them, so that they do not feel the entire pressure of assuming full-time work immediately, but slowly easing them back into the working, environment once again, is again something which makes it easier, especially for women who are returning from maternity. Creating a safe environment for these women when they're returning back from maternity at the workplace is also extremely important. So maybe giving them a lactation room, or a room for taking rest, or connecting with their child, etc. A lot of workplaces have also started providing a child care unit along with the workplace, which is also something which is a very good initiative to give a mother the peace of mind that my child is close by. If there is something which needs to be done, I can just quickly hop over and take care of it, without having to travel the entire distance from my workplace at home to home, or wherever the child has to be when I'm at work. Again, I think focusing again on those women who have probably taken a break in their careers, during, because of whatever be the reasons, personal or otherwise, supporting them, and a lot of organizations are doing this beautifully, supporting them towards, bringing up their skills, and again, kind of kindling that alignment to, work priorities, helping them understand, what's probably happened from the time that they stopped working to the time that they have rejoined the workplace. So bringing them up to speed, and hence bringing that confidence in them that we are as good as anybody else who has not had this break in their career, is also something which is extremely important, and which is conducive towards more and more women feeling that sense of confidence in coming back to the workforce even after taking a break, right? uh, So I think these are some of them, and I think another initiative which can be done and can be looked at, and which is also something which actually offers a huge amount of support, is creating support groups. So and I would like to say that Say Cheese is a fantastic initiative in this area, because portals like yours, forums like yours, will actually provide women the opportunity to connect with other women and learn from each other, have somebody who can offer a listening ear to the situation that you are facing at that point in time, and actually create a safe environment, because you know that who you're speaking to is somebody who's possibly gone through similar challenges and is speaking from their own experiences, and can truly guide you and give you their own insights in terms of navigating your.
Yeah, lovely. I mean, I think it's high time corporates understand the importance of these initiatives, which were considered once an expense. I think they are hygiene, right? I mean, it's things that we need to do to keep
Completely.
a diverse inclusion in mind, and also encourage more women to continue working, because they're equally intelligent, they're equally smart, they contribute. So there's no reason to not make it more appealing to them to be able to join work and bring
Completely.
their best work every day.
Completely.
Thank you so much for your time today. I
Absolutely.
know you've volunteered to be a mentor, and you volunteered to be on the Say Cheese platform, be able to guide. Is there any message you can give to all the women in our community? There are people who are struggling in different areas, whether it's career, health, or relationships, and we look out for inspiring women like you who've been there, who've done the journey to be able to advise other women. So are there some like two or three tips that you can give, which will keep the motivation on?
Absolutely, the way I think one of the most important things that I would tell each and every woman out there is pick up a pen and make a list of all the roles that you are playing today. It could be a working woman, a mother, a wife, a cook, a driver, a cleaner. What are all the roles that you are playing today? Make a list of those. What is it that you can really you think you're adding value? Where is it that is simply just a transaction, right? And I think we need to encourage each and every woman, and it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be something which will happen overnight. It's a journey, but I think that self realization and that prioritization at your own level is the start of this journey, and you cannot really step into becoming a much more fulfilled person, a professionally and personally at peace person, until and unless you do this prioritization. So do this prioritization, figure out who can help you in the areas where you believe that you do not need your own personal intervention. It could be family members, it could be hiring help, or it could even be actually letting go of some of those activities which are not really adding value, right? So engage in all of that, and build your priority list, because after doing all of this, the most important benefactor of this process would be you yourself, your own mental and physical well-being, which is extremely critical for you to do justice to every other role out there. That please take out the time to do this activity, because you are first and foremost the most important person in your own life's journey.
Very true, Sonali. Very beautifully spoken, and very practical tips, I must say, Sonali. None of it is something that is not looking achievable, and yet at the same time, in our attempt to do many things at the same time, we don't learn to deprioritize. I think deprioritize is a word that should be equally acceptable as much as prioritizing. But
Absolutely, completely.
for reminding us again today that yeah, deprioritization is equally important.
Completely.
Thank
Absolutely, Divya.
you, Sonali. We had a lovely session. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It was my pleasure being here. And once again, all the best to you and to the Say Cheese community. I look forward to seeing it grow, and being part of it as it grows. Thank you.
Thank you for your time.